Yes, guys, and a welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102. It's coming home, part 3. And as per usual, we are going to go live for this one. And we'll upload it as well as part of the story. Just takes me a little bit of time to get live. All this managing broadcast shit. I go to select existing broadcast and my YouTube isn't there. I have to sort of refresh it sometimes. And there it is. It just takes a little bit of time. Okay, so that is done and dusted. That I've said this before, right? That this can take a what? This can be a bit of a ball ache of a challenge. It really can be a ball ache of a challenge because I ain't got a game for ages on end. I haven't got a game for ages on end, but nevertheless, let's fire it up. Remember where we're up to? We got to January the 1st. It's the start of the new season. It's a fucking noise. It's a new year. We've got Malta coming up away from home. We've got Slovakia, Bulgaria, and Cyprus. And in all fairness, it should be a safe passage through to the World Cup next year. 16 goals scored with nothing against. Got to be happy with that. We've had one friendly game, which was away to Croatia, which we won. Very, very happy with that. And I've got to be honest, right? Because my screen, hi Gary, my CM screen was overlapping my YouTube screen, and I saw the word Lord. I thought, here we fucking go. But it's not, and I thought it was you. Good to see you, Gary. Good to see you. Not going to be the most entertaining stream in the world because obviously it's the international one. It's tricky, isn't it? Because I don't want to play any of it without it being videoed, if that makes sense, because I just think it steers away from its story element. But it is very difficult to. It can be very difficult to try and record the lot without having boring stints. It can't really be helped. I hope he returns. I'm feeling very. Well, do you know what? Right, it's as I said, Gary. Right, He's the very first. What should we call him? Troll? Like, genuine troll that I've ever had to deal with. And it all started, as I said to you on WhatsApp, I don't know if I told you the reason. It was over Harvey Elliott. We were talking about Harvey Elliott, or I was talking about, I was looking at bringing him into my team, and I said I actually don't like him. I think he's an arrogant little shit. But I actually rate him as a player. I think he's got a big work rate. And all of a sudden, he piped in and started saying, you don't know what you're talking about. And he called me a worm, which I thought was very entertaining. So it would be nice to see him return. It really would. Right, okay, so we got the auto. I'm half tempted to get rid of the auto save just to save time, but it's not worth the risk. Where do we? Yeah, he's a heckler. Heckler / knobhead. Well, I can think of better words which you probably can't write without YouTube fucking removing them. It's like now, I thought I'd have some friendlies booked in. I'm still optimistic that I will get a friendly chucked in somewhere. Roughly around April, do I get a friendly? Earthworm Jim. Oh, well, do you know what? I don't know the cartoon, but I've got a Super Nintendo emulator on the computer. And I go through phases, and Annie said, get Earthworm Jim. And I was like, what the fuck is that? So I've got the game, Earthworm Jim, I've got that, and I think there was a sequel to it, because I go through phases with emulation games, things like SNES, NES, Amstrad, Amiga, that sort of shit. I've got to be in the mood to play the nostalgic games. I do enjoy it, but I think there's so many gamer channels out there. I thought about doing one, but there's so many out there. It's not really worth me putting one up. Hence the 0102. There's not massive amounts of. I mean, how many other 0102 channels are there for CM Gary? You probably have a good idea on whether you like them or not. Whether I like them or not. Did you play Sensible Soccer? I found out. Right. Are you talking Sensible Soccer or are you talking Sensible World of Soccer? SWOS for short. I know there's an online game, and I tell you who's in that, Gary. Ready? Matt Tierney. Yeah, Sensible World of Soccer. Matt Tierney does it. I think he runs it. I'm pretty certain he does. They have updates and shit, don't they? To be honest with you, right, I can never get a joystick connected to my PC properly. I'm a bit thick with that. So it's not the same. There was always a joystick I used to use on the Amiga called a Cruiser. And it was a basic joystick and it was the bollocks. Because that's when I used to play Sensible World. It was a fucking amazing game. And I think one of my best... when it became Sensible World of Soccer and you could be player manager... 96, 97, Shearer had just moved to Newcastle. It was fucking great. I wasn't a big player of it. I was European. I don't really know too much about European club soccer player, to be honest with you. But I mean, I did like Sensible World of Soccer. I was a bit, and normally I'm not really. I'm always more of a management person. I mean, there's several games. If you look at Amiga, I mean, Ultimate Soccer Manager. Do you remember that? Ultimate Soccer Manager was almost a bit like fucking playing Sims and building around your stadiums and fucking program stands and shit. Mate, you need to try old-fashioned European Cup football. Oh, mate. Do you know what? And it's funny, I was talking about that today, about the 84-85 update. Old-fashioned European Cup format. You've got to love it. I mean, back when I was really young, I think we got our first computer, we were all really young. It was an Amstrad CPC 464. And... I used to go to fucking WH Smith's to look for games, right? And all these different football management games. I mean, there was the original Football Manager, which was fucking awful. League Challenge, Football Director, Soccer Director, Soccer Boss, 2-player Super League, 2-player Soccer Squad, International Manager, one of my favourites, loved it. Mega Drive would be Flames, I'd be playing in that... the Mega Drive, I love the Mega Drive. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, my late mum, she played the Mega Drive, believe it or not, right? She played Super Bomberman, the original Super Bomberman. And she used to love just playing this game, which made no sense to me. She had one game, she had a cartridge, and this was sort of like, I don't know, this would have been about 10 years ago. So, do you know what I mean? In the 60s, playing fucking amazing. And do you remember the expansion? Because I had this for a little period of time. The Mega CD. It was like an expansion, weren't it? There was an expansion to the Mega Drive. It was like it slid in, didn't it? Mega CD. It never really took off, did it? Never really took off. I mean, I did play it, and I think there was one particular game I played called Ground Zero. It was like a shoot 'em up, but it never really materialised. I think Mega Drive, or Sega shall I say, were always in competition with Nintendo, weren't they? Most people were either one or the other. Personally, I'd try and get to both. The Sega Mega CD that popped on the side, I had it, and it was it didn't. I mean, there wasn't even many releases on it, was there? But and I think maybe Nintendo had gone to Super Nintendo, so. Mega Drive, if you remember, Mega Drive was Master System, weren't it? And I'll tell you, Master System, right, Mark II, because the Mark 1 built-in game was shit, but the Mark II built-in game was Alex Kidd, and I play that quite often. I fucking love Alex Kidd. It's one of those games, where I don't get bored. Games where a lot of non-playable clips in them. There was another one, but... Fuck! It was a shooting one on the Mega Drive. Oh fuck! I can't remember. I think I might have even played Streets of Rage. Do you remember Streets of Rage? Golden Axe. That was another one. But yeah, So I personally, Annie's different. Terminator, yeah. I played Terminator on the Commodore 64, which was basically, as you know, cassettes and 2-3 minutes to load. They also had a facility for cartridges, and I remember getting Terminator and RoboCop for them. Annie, being a bit younger than me, was always a SNES fan. Not the NES, the SNES. I was more NES, because it was, it's more my era, because I'm old. And I used to play the original Super Mario, DuckTales, that sort of shit. You should do a retro football game with it. I thought about it, Gary. But my retro gaming is more based on even pre to what the games that you're saying. Mine are really from 83 upwards to about sort of like 91, 92. I'm talking C64, Specky 48. The Amstrad, like I said, the Amstrad 464 was our first computer, me and my brothers, and you have to wait 4 or 5 minutes for it to load. And we had games. We used to rage game. We had a game called Technician Ted, right? And I shit you not, right, my brother literally, because it takes 4 or 5 minutes to load or whatever it is, and he took the game out and smashed it. He was so angry. Now, when we got an Amiga, he did a similar thing with a floppy disk, because they were like the 3.5 inch, and he played Deluxe Pac-Man, and he lost, and he broke the disc. Now, I'd learned how to copy discs. I think he used a workbench disc or something to copy discs, so I was able to play it. I think things like that, and games like Atom Smasher. Atom Smasher was always also an irritating game. Same makers that made Lemmings. Lemmings was quite a good game, actually. But so many games, you know, like it transports you to your childhood just like that with a blink of an eye. You know, like at some point in your life. If I say game and you think, fuck me, I used to play that when I was this age, or when I was doing that, or, you know, it's... I mean, I used to play on the Amstrad, the leaderboard, which was a load of golf games, but there was various different golf games. There was pinball, Italian 90. I remember Italian 90. Now Italian 90. I was looking for. I found it an online game, not an online, but to play the game, but online. Do you remember that there was an arcade machine, Gary? I think it came out roughly after Italy 90, and you'd always see it in the fair, or in, you know, if you've got a travelling fair, or at the seaside. And it was a football game. You chose a nation, and I think it was based on Italy 90. You chose a nation, and it was almost one of the first three-dimensional sort of games that came out. I don't know if the game itself ever came out, or if it was the same concept. But obviously, and I used to play it at the fair all the time, and obviously you put money in. If you lost, you got to put money in to have a continue. Do you know what I mean? Who's that making that noise? You know, yeah, it was, weren't it? And if I remember rightly, the best way to do it was to get your man out onto the wing and then stick a crossing, and hopefully one of your men would come in to get it in, because the goalkeeper would be a little bit sort of, it'd be coming to you as a crosser, but you had to chip it in, not pass it in, chip it in and get the header in. That game was, and I tried to look for it a couple of months ago. I think I found it, but I think it weren't that good. I think what I found, I mean, when I looked at Alex Kidd, I found that piece of piss. When I played DuckTales, I found that piece of piss as well. Right, 1 minute, guys. Just one minute. Oh yeah, I've already started streaming. I'll unlock the door then. Right, 1 minute. Right, back. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. I've got my window open today, so well, fuck the neighbours, basically. You know, that's the short and long of that. Okay, so I've not even missed anything. What are we, 4th of February? The hockey games on Mega Drive were good as well. Fight Spray, yeah. Let me think of a game now then. It was on the Amiga. Speedball. It was kind of like a hockey sort of game. Or you know, like air hockey that you play at the fair. It was like one of them, but it would be about fights breaking out as well. They tried to, well, even before that, they made a game on the Amstrad called Street Gang Football, which was exactly like that, but in a much lesser scale. But this was like, it was basically, you'd have a street football match, but a fight would break out. But it was before the days of what you've just mentioned there. So there are some absolute fucking belters. I mean, as I said, predominantly I'm Amstrad and Commodore 64. That's my main two. Spectrum 48, never really got on with the Spectrum 48. The consoles obviously arrived, about late 80s? Did the Nintendo? Patch this game and do an ODB save with someone obscure. I've got to be honest with you, right? This is actually boring me. Because I've got so long to wait for a game. And as I said, I did, you know, Croatian, Hadiak Split. Hadiak Split springs to mind there. I am learning, Gary, something for Discord. Are you on Discord, by the way, Gary? I'm sure you are, yeah, of course you are. Gary, if you're not already there, you know the CM group, the CM server on Discord. Go have a look and go to my Barely Legal Interactive. It's a game I'm doing. Very similar to that, yeah, our group. It's very similar to, I created a section. It's very similar to what that Dutchman did, all mouth, no trousers. Basically, I want to add people in, give me their position, their nationality, and 3 chosen attributes. Nothing mental, because I'm already going to do determination. 3 attributes, and then I want to see how I'm using the 84-85 update, though. I've created a team called Barely Legal. You'll all be in that, and you know, I think I've got about 8 or 9. It's a work in progress, but I want to keep it specifically to that Discord section, so anybody partaking are there. So if you get a chance to, Gary, put it in. Lee Sharple's put in today. An interesting choice. You'll see what Lee Sharple's has chose. Very interesting. He's gone for DMR, which I'm personally not a fan of DMR. 1 position, nationality, 1 nationality, and 3 attributes. You'll have a 100 CA and a 200 PA, a 100 rep domestically and world. All your traits will be 12 apiece, so determination, loyalty. So then I need 3 attributes that I can put to 20, and then we'll see how you flare up on the 84-85 database. You will have precisely 17 seasons. You'll start as an 18-year-old, because your date of birth will be the 1st of the 1st 66. You will have up until 2001 to get yourself a good career. When I do it for real, like when I do an official one, I will I have all the leagues open, because as you know, Gary, that 84-85 is fucking brilliant, isn't it? I am still doing a little bit of work on it, though. I've asked a question that can you take out the non-EUs, because a few people are putting obscure nationalities, which is fine, but it's going to restrict them getting game time at Barely Legal. I'll be a moustached maniac and MC. So, mate, go for it. Fucking go for it. Souness is obviously in the game, isn't he? 84-85. So you're going to have to compete with Graham Souness. But you will only be 18 years of age, though, Gary. You'll be 18 years of age. I might... Do you know what I might actually do? Do you know what I might do? How about I just go straight to it? How about I come off this shit and go to it? What do you think? What do you think? Should we do that? 20 aggression, 20 bravery. Is that you? But or are you just taking the piss? Because Sharples actually did 20 dirtiness. He did 20 dirtiness. I forget. Can you do me a favour, Gary? Can you put it on that server, just so I can keep it contained? Because I didn't want to sort of go away from that. I wanted to keep it specifically to that, particularly when I then do a video on it. In fact, what I might do is I might just do a separate video on it, a separate stream. Nice one. I might do a separate thing on it. It is coming soon anyway. It is coming soon. And I'm calling it Barely Legal, because that's going to be the name of the team. No worries, Gary, no worries. Let's go back to this game in hand. The next time we get an opportunity to pause the game, just to remind anyone that's just arrived, because I can see our count went up a little bit there. We are England. It is the latest or the most recent update, the October 2024 update. We're in the World Cup qualification period. We are halfway through, and there's we've got no scheduled friendlies, which is a bit bizarre. That's the start we've had. Very, very good start. Our results so far, you can see 6-0 over Malta, 1-0 over Slovakia, 7-0 over Bulgaria, 2-0 over Cyprus, and a 1-0 victory over Croatia. I think we should probably look at our squad. We did minimise our squad because we were looking at average ratings, weren't we? And they're not looking any better, are they? Harry Kane's still looking king. Because I feel like we're going to have to really go on the average rating side of thing. I really do. What we got going on here? So we've got 61 players. So I don't know who the fuck Noel Buck is. But that's not genuine. No way is that genuine. Let's have a look. 725, Dominic Solanke, but we don't really need a striker. Now, that Joe Gelhardt, I'm not sure, 742. Now, Gerard Brunthwaite, now he's interesting because our defence is quite piss poor, so he might break in. We're going to have a long think about this as to who's going to break into our squad. I think we need to give Ezra some game time, don't we? I mean, obviously, we've put that in order of average rating. And as you can see, now, Mason Greenwood, I think, has got to also be given some game time. Mason Greenwood, as much as the fact that he's a rapist, 19 goal involvement so far. Let me remind you that I've got all the leagues selected. Because I'm uploading this as a video as well, all the leagues are selected in order to get a better, truer reflection on the game. Okay, so actually half tempted now then to just actually half tempted to save when we select our squad, and then maybe go and do a different stream. Do a different stream on what we've got coming forward. We'll have a think. Okay. Don't matter. Yeah, appreciate that, Gary. I've not got my Discord open at the minute. I try to minimise what I've got open when I'm streaming. But what I might do is I don't even know if it's worth doing a stream on coming soon, because realistically it should just be a video. So I'll probably just do a video for it. So I'll keep this going. Maybe play one game. Play my qualifying game if I can get to it. This is so fucking tedious. It really is tedious. You know, and I just need to. It wouldn't be so bad, right? But I can't do anything. That's the most frustrating thing. Is I can't do anything. I better be a violent animal, or I'll be very unhappy. Very unhappy. Well, it's interesting because Sharple said something interesting to me today. He said, "Oh, that reminds me of a game that a Dutchman used to do." Now, that all mouth, no trousers. Now, I'm not doing it like that because. Don't know if you can remember it, Gary. He was playing the game himself, and he would, let's say you were a left back and I was a left back and Sharp was a left back. He'd have a month, and he'd have the first game where you're playing, the next game where I'm playing, the next game where Sharp, and then you know, there's a lot of pissing about, and there's an awful lot of pissing about. Right, okay. So we've just had a workman here, and he's left some tools here. I'm just looking at some tools that the workman's left here. Razor. Yeah. Well, hang on. Ray did do it initially because he called it all mouth, no trousers, but he played it. I'm not playing it. You know, I don't. I'd rather just do. Because you're going to have a 200. You're going to have a 200 PA. Gary, you're going to have a 200 PA and you're going to start as a 100 CA. So the idea is play a season, let's see how you did. Play a season, let's see if you got a move, and so on and so on and so on. Now remember, this is going to be the 84-85 update. So, firstly, the value of you will be not you know, what you might think. It's divisible by 5, believe it or not. So if you were worth £1 million on the ODB, you will be worth 200 grand, obviously. And so on and so on. I am still, like I said, it is a work in progress. It is still a work in progress. And I am looking to, you know, get this back up and going. I did say, I didn't want to take on too much, if I'm honest. When I've got the game with Matt going, and I've got the 3-man game, not that I really played a game time with the 3-man game. I've got the King of the Dugout, and so on and so on. And also, I wanted some different material. Yes. You will all be in the team to start off with. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I need to double check something on the 84-85. If you can select every league. I think you can, and it won't crash, but I need to check that. So yeah, you'll all be at Barely Legal. You'll all have, the traits will all be the same, which will be 12 apiece. And then obviously you choose what you want your free attributes to be, and so on and so on. And then we will see, and we will follow all our participants. I think the best way for me to do it will be to add them all to a short list, and then I can keep an eye on them with ease. Okay, here we go. We've got a squad to announce for the game against Malta. We've got to make a choice now, haven't we? Now, the goalies, we know the problems we've got with goalkeepers. We're not going to have many options, so I'm just going to... I just realised time. Got to get sort of work. Yes, mate, no worries. Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. I'm probably just going to... In fact, I might actually just leave it at that, Gary, actually. I might just leave it at that. It was only going to be a quick stream. I should have just done it as a video, really, shouldn't I? But appreciate that, Gary. And that's it. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. And I'm going to make a video on what I've just been talking about, because some of you might be thinking, oh, what's that? So I'm going to go make a video and upload it, and we will go from there. Till next time from me, guys. Appreciate Gary, the interaction. Take it easy.